So today's gardening project is planting some zinnias that I got from Floret Flower Farm. I got these about 2 months ago, and I was gonna put them in troughs, but I'm gonna save some money and directly sow them into the ground today. It is pretty warm here in Kentucky. I'm at the very first full week of June. I think they're gonna do all right in the ground, and we should see them pop up here within a couple of days. I'm gonna bring you along today. We're gonna plant them in, you can see kind of back here. And I'm gonna just make a little flower bed for them. So here we go. So these are the zinnias that I'm gonna be putting into the ground. If you don't follow Floret, I recommend doing so. She's incredible. There's a show on HBO that I've watched and it's amazing. Days to germination is 3 to 5. It wants the soil temperature to be between 60 and 80 degrees. You can directly sow them, and what I recommend you look for on the back of seed packets to see if you can directly sow is days to maturity, 75 to 95. We're at the beginning of June right now, so that would be the beginning of September before I can harvest them. I'm probably not going to pinch these back as it's so late in the season. I don't really care about getting a huge number of blooms. I'm not selling these to anyone. These are just for my own enjoyment. So this is my garden bed area where I'm going to be sowing them. I got this arbor in yesterday. This is a climbing rose from David Austin. I forget the variety name, but I can put it in the description below. This is a red smoke bush here. And then there's a wisteria vine here that's going to grow up this fence. It's just some scrap wood we've got. But I think the bed, the idea is that you walk through, and I think I'm going to start the bed kind of in this area and just sweep, just like make a swoop. I don't really want to make like an exact rectangle. I kind of want it to be more organic, so it's going to kind of curve with the pathway. In my mind, the pathway is going to happen here in the arbor and then follow along and kind of curve back through here. Somehow I'm gonna cover up this hose link post. But this is a grapevine, and we're going to be putting a fence in here that's similar, try not to make you dizzy, that will be similar to this fence here. So that's like a 10-foot post and 6-foot wide boards. We would obviously do them much more further apart for the grapevine, but I'll take you along for that project when we do it. So the first step in the project is we're going to be moving the rock away from the fabric. There is fabric underneath of it. I'll be cutting the fabric out to make the garden bed that I want to create. And then we will till up the soil a little bit, put garden soil on top of it, and then we'll sow our seeds. Here we go. Okay, I got all of the fabric moved back and cut out. I know this is not the prettiest image right now. We have pretty hard clay underneath, and eventually almost all of this fabric will be gone. I don't mind weeding. I use a preen method, and then dead weed brew is what I use to control the weeds. I obviously cannot preen while I'm sowing these seeds because the preen will actually stop the seeds from germinating. But this is the area and the swoop that I wanted to do. Like I said, not the prettiest right now, but I think it'll be really pretty when the flowers fill in. I was thinking about edging along the border, but I really want this area, I'm going for a unique look, and I don't mind once the zinnias are up to kind of push the rock back into the zinnias underneath of them. So it kind of looks seamless and there's no edging. It's just, you know, rock pathways and then flowers and plants kind of everywhere. But this is the first season, so we're just getting started. The next step in the process is I'm gonna mess up the soil a little bit. In a perfect world, I would take a tiller and till this clay up and mix some compost in with the soil. I unfortunately do not have a tiller, so I'm going to be hand like stabbing the ground with a pitchfork just to kind of aerate the soil a little bit. I am going to put some plant tone in on top of the soil to fertilize the soil a little bit, and then we're going to be covering up with this garden soil that I got from Lowe's here before I put any zinnias in the ground. And then I'm going to cover up what I did with another bag just as a top dress to hopefully keep the zinnias where I have them. I'm not trying to make it just growing these for my own individual use. So like I said, I'm not going to be pinching them back to make bushier zinnias to get more produce out of them because I'm planting so late in the season. I am going to be mixing these seeds up. As you can see, they're very similar color families. One's Precious Metals, one's Dawn Creek Peach. They're both gorgeous. They're Floret originals. I'm gonna use this plastic container and I'm gonna dump the seeds in and kind of mix them around so that I don't really know which seed is which seed. As you can see, she does suggest that we plant them 1/4 of an inch into the soil and that plant spacing is 9 to 12 inches. You can see our bed here. It is not very big. I would say that it's about 6 feet long by about 2.5 feet wide. I'm gonna space these probably about every 8 inches here in the ground, as I probably will cull a lot if we have all these germinate. I'm just worried about germination right now with me directly sowing them into the ground. I put about 1 inch to 2 inches of top dress on. So we're actually just gonna be planting these seeds in the top dress. I don't think I'm actually gonna need any more soil than what I have. So I've got the seeds mixed up here. I've kind of shook this around. You can see them all here. There's not very many seeds, so I think that we have a perfect size bed. I'm gonna be using this weed tool to create my little divots that I'm gonna be planting the seeds in. Like I said, the seed packet suggests 1/4 of an inch down into the soil for how low we put the seeds. Okay, so we got the bed watered. I used a shower setting on the hose at a very low level so I didn't displace any of the seeds or wash them out. I checked the weather forecast. We're not supposed to get any heavy rain in the next 5 to 7 days. So these should do really well. Shouldn't get washed out. I don't think I'll have any animals in it as we are completely covered with a fence. I apologize for the background noise. I live in a construction zone. They're building like 5 or 6 houses around me right now. But I think this bed's gonna do great. It provides full sun, probably 8 to 10 hours of full sun. Once the sun sets behind this fence, then it does get some shade in the afternoon. I will bring you guys along as these start to germinate, and hopefully we have a beautiful show of Floret zinnias here in my garden space. So that's it for this video. We got all those zinnia seeds planted here, and I will take you along for a progress update. Hopefully they all germinate. I think we're not gonna have any issues. Hope you all are having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as it helps me out a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.